Joy and sorrow are mingled.
每个成长时刻，欢乐与悲伤同在。
Remain virtuous in joy, and be ready for sorrow with courage.
快乐时心存善良，悲伤也鼓足勇气。第一幕，孟姜女出生。
Scene 1. The birth of Meng Jiang.
My name is Meng, and this is my wife.
We live in the far region, near the border.
Before I retired, I had a very important job in the civil service. Transport division, deputy manager. Should never have given up that job.
I am a retired junior school teacher.
We live a simple, natural life in our old age.
We never had any children of our own.
Thank God.
I miss the sound of children, running to and fro.
Pa.
And I miss the smell of them too. Young children smell so lovely, like a fresh rose about to bloom.
Not the ones I knew.
But growing more and more cantankerous by the day, husband.
In the mornings, I tend to my chickens. And in the afternoons, we work in the garden if it's not raining.
The evenings are given over to reading.
And I write letters at my desk.
Ours is a comfortable life now.
I think ours is a dull life. But we were blessed with magnificent neighbours.
Our neighbours, Mr. and Mrs. Chang, love the outdoor life.
My name is Chang, and this is my wife. And we love the outdoors, don't we, dear? And searching for butterflies?
Yes, dearest. Rain, hail, and storm piazzas out there, sloshing through the bog, crawling up the mountain, and stumbling through the dark forest. Of course, we never kill the butterflies when we find them. I draw them as accurately as I can.
And then we set them free again. For 40 years I slaved away in a tiny, dingy little office in the bowels of a government building. And I swear that the day that I was eligible for retirement, I would never spend a day cooped up indoors again unless I was on my deathbed.
Personally, I wouldn't mind a day or two at home every week. You ought to see the state of the stove. And look at this garden. It's a disgrace. What will our neighbours think of us?
Nonsense, wife. Now, let's look at all the places we're going to go today.
But all that changed the day my husband came back from the market with a small bottle gourd plant.
What do you think of this, wife?
What have you got there? Not another plant again.
It's a bottle gourd plant.
There's no room for it. The garden's full to busting already.
But the gypsy woman said you'd bring us good luck. I think we need a bit of luck.
And you believed her. There's nothing like an old fool.
I think I shall plant it here, next to our neighbour's fence, so Mr. and Mrs. Chang can watch it grow as well.
They're never in long enough to watch anything grow. Out when the sun rises, and back when it slides behind those hills.
What's that you've got there, Mum?
I thank the day our neighbours bought that plant. It saved my life and my feet. My husband became a changed person, like magic. Over the course of the next few months, the bottle gourd wove its slender tendrils around the bamboo fence and slowly forced its way into our garden, changing our lives completely.
I think this plant will produce fruit soon.
Where are we going today, husband?
Do you think it needs some more water? Do you think it needs more protection from the harsh, cold north wind?
And so, our cross-country expeditions became more and more infrequent. Thank God.
We can't go far today, wife. We must be home before noon, as to protect our child from the midday rays of the sun.
Until one day, our expeditions stopped completely. Then a few weeks later,
Good morning, Chang. I think the time has come to split our bottle gourd plant. It's growing too big, too unruly. What do you say?
Oh no! No, Mom! What if we damage the poor thing?
Pruning and dividing will encourage more healthy growth. Besides, then we can each have our own individual plants.
And so they half.
But when they cut open the thick green stem, to their utter surprise, inside they found lying there a lovely baby girl.
A beautiful young thing, small and tender.
Oh, what do we do with this, Chang?
I'm not really sure, Meng.
We know what to do, don't we, Mrs. Chan?
We certainly do. Leave this to us.
And we called the little girl Meng Jiang,
And we brought her up as our daughter.
our very own daughter.
Scene 2. The education of the young Meng Jiang.
My name is Meng Jiang. I am doubly fortunate because I have 2 fathers and 2 mothers. For me, birthdays and holidays are double the pleasure. From a young girl, I have grown to love both my fathers and mothers equally, moving happily from one house to another. I have a room of my own in both houses. This is you, our family's servant girl, and my lifelong friend and companion. I can't remember a time when you was not by my side.
Playing games?
Skipping,
Swapping secrets?
but by the time I reached the age of 6 years, my family invited a tutor.
我是孟姜女的诗文老师，我来教她女儿经。
朽木不可雕也。
Will you teach me to read, please?
Of course, and write too. We'll start with this book. I'll be the teacher and you are my pupil. Good morning, children.
Good morning, Mrs. Meng Jiang.
Take out your books, children. Who would like to read for me?
Me, miss, I'll read this.
When I reached the age of 9 years, an embroidery teacher was employed.
I am Meng's tutor, so the depiction of birds, flowers, and dragons. Complete this.
That doesn't look much like a flying dragon, does it?
It's more like an elephant, I think.
I haven't seen many green elephants, have you?
By the time I reached the age of 12 years, I began to manage all the household affairs with you.
Look, he's flying south. Mom, over there. Mom.
Come and help me with these, you.
When we finish all our jobs for today, can we go down by the river, like we used to when we were younger?
No time to play today's you. My parents are getting too old to look after both the houses. They need all the help we can give them.
I miss those days when we were younger, playing in the streams, catching tadpoles, watching the stars drift across the sky.
Those days are gone, you. Come and help me. Scene 3. The marriage of Meng Jiang. Time passed. Several years later, Meng Jiang grew into a beautiful young woman, like a lotus flower emerging from the water. Meng, I have a question to ask you. I bought a shawl for my mother, and I was hoping to bring it to her before the New Year's. Do you think that would be possible?
Well, of course, you.
How long is it since you last visited your parents?
It's been several months. I do miss them. Not that I'm not grateful for this position here, but sometimes I see them in my dreams.
Dreams? Last night I had the strangest dream.
Oh, do tell me about it. I love dreams.
A young man came to visit me here in this garden. He was in much danger and I felt much sympathy for his plight.
Oh, how lovely. What kind of man?
A most extraordinary young man. Who's there? Is there somebody here in our garden? The young man. From my dreams.
What? The young man from your dreams?
Forget it! Who are you and why are you in our garden?
Oh, okay. Don't shout or scream. I intend you no harm.
I'm not the sort of young woman who shouts or screams. I'll have you know I'm a rationalist. A feminist.
Anyway, are you the lady of the house?
Are you mad? Do I look like a married woman? Better watch what you say.
I'm sorry. Look, I was just hiding out here, from the soldiers.
Soldiers? Are you a deserter? Running away from the army because of your idealistic beliefs? Or perhaps you're a revolutionary poet? I do hope you're not a vicious murderer.
Oh, no. Oh, I beg your pardon. It's nothing like that at all.
Good, because I would feel obliged to scream if you were a murderer.
No. The Emperor has conscripted all young men over the age of 18 in this province.
You don't look over 18. Are you sure you're over 18?
Well, I know my handsome baby features may fool some people, but I can assure
What's
you...
your obligation to joining the army then?
Oh, you mean apart from being killed?
I suppose that might be an issue.
Anyway, the Emperor doesn't want us as soldiers. He wants us as cheap labour to begin work on his Great Wall, all the way to the Bohai Sea.
The Emperor building a wall that long? He's barely out of his nappies. What is he, 16? He should still be playing with his bamboo sticks.
Oh, I agree. But he's sent his soldiers all over the countryside to find every able-bodied young man they can find.
Who are you talking to, daughter?
Oh, no one. Father number one.
Oh. Well then, who's this then?
Oh, him? Oh, just passing.
School friend.
But you don't go to school, daughter.
Ignore him. Father number two.
Wait. Father number one. Father number two. What's going on here?
Forget it. It's too complicated to explain now. Listen, fathers, mothers. This man is in extreme danger. He may not look like much now, but he is in fact the illegitimate son of our last emperor's cousin.
Whoa. I'm not the illegitimate son of any emperor's cousin. Do not listen to her.
Don't worry, we've heard of all her romantic tales before.
Don't go telling him that. Don't ruin my chances with him.
Thought you just said he didn't look like much.
All right. Let the young man explain himself why he is in our garden on this fine spring morning.
And so, in the shade of the plum tree, he told us his tale.
Well, my home is not far from here in the Suzhou prefecture, and, I'm the only son of my parents, and, well, the Emperor has conscripted all young men over the age of 18 to begin work on his Great Wall. But how can I? A student used to only studying poetry, help in the construction of this Great Wall. Well, when I get there, I will most certainly die, and then who will my parents rely on in their old age? There was no other option but to flee from death. And thus I arrived at this place. Please, let me stay in this garden just for one night. And by tomorrow, I will be gone.
And when he told us his story, which he recounted so eloquently,
Our hearts melted, and we vowed to hide him in our humble home, so that the soldiers could not find him.
Personally, I don't think we're doing the right thing here. After all, we don't know anything about him and we might end up in serious trouble.
You're growing more and more cynical by the day, husband.
And you're growing more and more soft-headed by the day.
Within a matter of days, it soon became obvious that Meng Jiang and Fan Liang had fallen deeply in love with each other. They seemed to spend every waking moment in each other's company. Meng, I'm going for a walk down by the river. Do you want to come with me?
Not right now, Zhu. I'm writing verse with Fan Liang at the moment. Maybe later.
They spent hours very deep in conversation with each other.
Meng, can you help me with tonight's meal, please? I will soon, Zhu, I promise.
But she didn't. She was so caught up with her newfound love. Not that I was jealous. I was pleased for her. But it left me with hours on my own to reflect about our changing relationship. It made me realise that our childhood had finally disappeared. And it made me sad. For the first time in my very short life, I understood the word lonely.
What's up, Zhu?
Oh, nothing. Just thinking of past days. Time's gone.
You mustn't think like that, darling Zhu. We must look to the future. Look at this verse that Fan Liang and I wrote together. Do you like it? Don't laugh.
Marriage? You intend to marry him? Really?
He's already spoken to my parents.
Isn't this a bit sudden?
I know it is, but it just feels right.
The wedding ceremony was a few days later. Very simple. A few people from the village came and got very drunk. My mother wasn't able to come because of her job in the town, but it was a memorable event for us all.
一拜天地，二拜高堂，夫妻对拜，敬酒，送入洞房。
But after a few days, the soldiers returned and took Fan Liang away.
Scene 4. Meng Jiang's husband is captured by the Emperor's soldiers.
官兵来了！官兵来了！
The soldiers are coming!
The soldiers are here!
The soldiers are here!
Where are they now?
They're in the village at the moment, but they're heading this way.
Where can they hide?
In the cellar! No, the bounty up there. In the firing shed behind the stables.
Wait. Where is my wife? Where is
She
Meng?
was in the village with me. She stayed behind to hold up the soldiers' progress, so you had time to hide.
Are you Fan Liang?
Run quickly!
There's nowhere to run. We're surrounded.
I'll create a diversion so that you have time to get away.
Can't you see we're
You
surrounded?
can't give up so easily.
Sometimes one must accept one's fate.
I have a warrant here for your arrest. You are ordered to work on the construction of the Great Wall by the order of our mighty Emperor.
You can't take him away now. He's only been married less than a week.
My heart bleeds for him. Are you coming quietly, or do I need to tell my men to use a bit of persuasion?
There'll be no need for persuasion. But I tell you, Sergeant, I object to this
Take
warrant.
me instead. Take me.
Now there's an interesting affair.
I'm a better worker than him. He can barely lift a spade. He's only fit for writing poetry. See, he has a woman's hands. Never done a day's proper work in his life. No use for digging. Take me instead.
Just one problem. You're a girl.
I'll dress up in his clothes. I'll look like a young man. No one would ever know.
I appreciate your kindness in offering to take my place, but...
Can't you just give him a few minutes to say goodbye to his wife?
No, I don't like these emotional farewells. Lots of shouting and tears, and then the pushing and shoving starts, and before you know it, we're fighting. Keep it short and sweet. No fuss, no drama. That's my motto.
You're heartless.
You have to be. There's no place for sympathy here. He's got 1 minute. No more. We're counting.
What should I do?
You must stay strong. Tell Mum that I will be back.
Time's up. Get moving. Quick on. What's it for that?
That wasn't a minute.
We're the ones counting. Move.
Give Mum this poem. Tell her I will return. Tell her to never doubt me.
Poetry. Ha. Move.
What's it quick on?
What's happening? What's all this commotion?
Where's Fan going?
The soldiers returned. They took him away to work on the long wall.
Where's our daughter?
She's still in the village.
Does she know?
They've taken him. He told me to give you this.
Meng Jiang 女寻夫.
Scene 5. Meng Jiang's journey to seek her husband.
Now, autumn winds blow across the meadows. Falling leaves rustle. The whole world is autumn. The sun shows itself weakly from time to time.
Since you, my love, went away, my gauze curtains sigh in the chilly winds. My thoughts of you are like the creeping grass, growing and spreading without an end.
All year long, she's been waiting and watching for her husband's return. But still, there is no word. He's working in the northern regions as a labourer, but how can he survive the chilly winter? That night, she sank into a heavy slumber. In her dream, her husband appeared to her. He was shaking and shivering like withering chaff as he told her of his sufferings.
My dear wife. I am truly freezing to death. Please, bring my cotton-padded winter clothes. Quickly!
She reached for him, but when she woke, she realized it was only a dream.
The next morning, our daughter suddenly announced to us,
My dear parents, when my husband was taken away by the soldiers in the spring, he was still wearing his thin summer clothing. But now the weather has grown bitterly cold, so I've made a bundle of thick padded clothing, socks and shoes, and I must take them to him at once.
How could you, still a young girl, make such a long and arduous journey?
How can you undertake a journey of hundreds of miles? No, impossible.
Besides, there are no suitable places for you to lodge in the evening.
and you wouldn't be able to endure the rain, the snow, and the frost. Impossible!
Fierce animals roam the mountains.
Daughter, your face is as beautiful as a flower. We fear that you may be kidnapped.
Bandits and robbers infest the roads of the North Country.
My dear parents, I will risk death and brave any danger to make this journey, for better or worse. I must journey to the Great Wall and discover the fate of my beloved husband. The child is leaving you now. Please, do not worry. Make sure, my dear parents, that you take care of yourselves.
How is it possible for us not to fret?
Absolutely impossible.
Daughter, if you insist on going to the Great Wall, we will not stop you. But please be careful on the road.
If you insist on leaving us, please, take Zoo as your companion.
Please let me accompany you. It would be an honor, and we can share stories around the campfire at night.
In the evening, do not stay in derelict temples, as they may be infested with monsters or ghosts.
Inns and hostels are not suitable. It's best to seek lodgings in private guest houses.
I will do as you say, my parents.
And so our daughter Meng and servant girl Zhu took leave of us that bright autumn day.
Tai Chen.
My heart feels as though it has been stabbed with a knife.
Mine too. I might never see my parents again.
We must have courage to forge on ahead.
News of our daughter's journey to the far north reached us in the next few weeks. Travellers that they met on their journey told us of the dangers that her and Zhu would face.
Our hearts were so bound to our daughter that it was as if we were with her in every step of her arduous pilgrimage.
Throughout the first days of the journey, Meng servant girl Zhu meticulously took care of everything.
Meng, do you remember our childhood? We were so happy back then.
Of course you. Remember all of our carefree days together.
But now, there is so much sadness.
Yes, you, but we are no longer children.
And they completed the first part of their journey without any problem.
See, we've already covered 100 miles. At this rate, we'll be there in less than 2 weeks.
So glad that you agreed to come with me. We haven't had much time to talk together recently. We can share all of our secrets on this journey like we used to when we were little children.
After a few days, Zhu, the servant girl, fell ill from exhaustion. And although Meng took good care of the girl, she did not recover. One night, the servant girl said,
My dear girl, you must continue your journey without me. If I recover, I will catch up with you. However, if, in the worst case, I die here, at least I won't be a burden to you any longer.
Zhu, the two of us grew up together. Like real sisters. like two roses on the same stem. Sleeping in the same bed. Sharing all of our joys and our sorrows. So how could I bear to leave you behind in the world alone? Rest. You'll feel better in the morning.
But during the night, the servant girl decided that she must find a solution to help Meng Jiang.
So, she silently offered her final farewells to the lady, and she crept into the forest, never to be seen again.
in the morning, when Meng realized the sacrifice made by the servant girl, she knelt down and prayed for the soul of her lost companion.
Now I must continue on with my journey. Alone.
With firm steps, she hastened onwards.
Through the intense heat of the day,
And the icy cold of the night.
In wind and storms,
Across flooded rivers,
and over perilous boulders,
Each evening, as the sun began to set,
she sought out a humble guest house for the night.
Young lady, I can see by your manner that you come from a good home, but the food we have here at this inn is only plain and simple.
I'll have whatever is ready. Some rice from the pot is fine.
She was a fine lady of excellent bearing, but her face was filled with sorrow. As we sat near the fire that night, we fell into conversation. She told me how her husband had been taken to build a long wall, and she was taken in winter clothing, walking all the way on foot.
I knew that when I reached the wall, my heart may die. But it's better than being destroyed by sorrows and doubts, doing nothing and waiting at home for news.
I reminded her of all the dangers she still had to face. A journey of 1,000 miles on such tiny feet. The bandits infesting the mountains, the tigers in the mountains, and those demons all around. but in reply she told me of her love.
I know of all of the dangers that you have pointed out to me, but the ties that bind this heart of mine will never be broken.
The story she told pulled at my own heartstrings. Young lady, your story has touched my heart. I will go part the way with you.
No, I could not ask you to do that. Who would take care of your home? I appreciate the thought that your life belongs here with your husband and your child.
I could do nothing to change her mind. The two of us talked through most of the night together, but as the morning light appeared in the sky, she resumed her journey.
Even though there were high mountains and dangerous terrain,
She strode on.
When she was hungry, she ate the berries from the trees. And when she was thirsty, she drank the mountain water.
She carried on like this for 20 more days.
until she met an old wise woman sitting in front of her cottage.
Young lady, you look tired and weary. Sit down here. I don't have much to offer, but you're welcome to share this.
Thank you, kind lady. What is your name?
I am Silverhair of the Borderlands. May I ask whence you hail and what is the purpose of your journey?
I have travelled hundreds of miles in search of my husband, who was taken by the soldiers in the spring and forced to work on the Long War. I'm taking him warm winter clothing.
There are more than 800,000 people working on the wall, and the wall stretches for over 400 miles. How can you expect to locate one individual in the midst of all that?
I will find him, Silverhair. Please, tell me all that you know about those working on the Long War.
By day, they are exposed to the burning sun, and by night, the hardship of the wind and frost. They have very little food, and without proper clothing, they freeze to death. Many go there, but do not return. I must warn you, young lady, that if your husband was taken there last spring, he is not likely to survive the harsh winter.
If he has died, then I must bury his body.
When people who are working on the wall die, their remains are just thrown into the base of the wall itself, so I fear you may have very little hope of finding him.
If I cannot find him, then I will die there too.
If you do find remains of your husband's bones, you must use your own blood to identify them. Bite into your finger until it bleeds, and let the blood drip onto the bones. If they are not your husband's bones, the blood will drip off. However, the blood from a wife will be absorbed into the bones.
I will remember what you have said.
From here, it is still 200 miles to the wall, so take an ample supply of provisions, and my blessing will go with you.
The following morning, our daughter took her leave and set off again.
All along the path,
There are dark trees. There is no sign of human inhabitation.
There was no place to find food or water, no place to rest for the night.
she carried on like this for 3 more days. Then just when she felt she could no longer continue,
She saw,
For the first time, the Great Wall of the Emperor.
My dear husband, where are you now? My heart feels as though it has been stabbed with 1,000 arrows. I've travelled hundreds of miles in search of you, and
heart is filled with grief.
We waited to hear news of our daughter, but none came. We knew she had reached the Great Wall, but it was as if that vital bond between us had been utterly broken. We heard no more. Now, there was silence.
Silence. She seemed to be so far beyond our reach. We were no longer there with her. All we could do is wait and pray that one day she would return to us.
Scene 6. Our daughter Meng at the Long Wall.
That night, Meng Jiang fell into a heavy slumber under the shade of the long wall. She dreamt of her darling husband, Fan Liang.
My dear wife, as I look at you now, I remember that day in your father's garden, when we swore our marriage vows, hoping that our love would last as long as heaven and earth. Little did we know that within a few days, these two lovebirds would be so cruelly torn apart. I had been working just 3 days when I caught an illness from which I had died. My body was thrown at the foot of the wall, and the hexagonal pavilion was erected on top of my bones. I am truly honoured with your devotion to your husband in coming this far, but I am also deeply grieved of your sufferings along the journey. So please, my dear wife, return home. You're an only child, and your parents will be worrying about you.
No, husband. I must not return home until I've found your bones. I must go to the hexagonal pavilion now and search for them.
You can't go in there. Did you not hear what I said? Stop.
But I must. I must find the hexagonal pavilion.
All this here's the Emperor's property. You can't come in here. Besides, what would the likes of you, no offence, young lady, want to be doing finding the hexagonal pavilion? What's your business here?
I have travelled hundreds of miles in search of my husband, who was taken to work on the Long Wall. And now I've discovered that his body lies beneath the hexagonal pavilion.
I feel great sorry to hear your story, but I still cannot let you in.
I have crossed dangerous rivers, climbed colossal mountains, and walked for days on end without food or water, and you think that you have the little courage to stop me now? I'm not afraid of the life of you.
Good, but I still cannot let you in here. I lose my job and my head if I did that.
Look, young man, I don't intend for you to lose your job or your head.
But the Emperor's instructions are very clear.
I've no respect for the Emperor. He's a silly, spoiled brat.
I'd keep your voice down if I were you. I wouldn't let anyone let you hear saying that sort of thing.
Why not?
We all know he's soft in the head. Cursing in the name of the Emperor is a very serious crime. Do you realise that?
So, what are you going to do about it?
If you carry on in this fashion, I'm afraid to say I will be forced to arrest you. And then it might be you who's in danger of losing your head.
Can't you just look the other way for a minute while I sneak in?
I'm sorry, but no.
But you're letting him go in there. Who? Where? Sorry. Hey you! Come back here! I'm going to lose my job and my head.
found home.
Scene 7. Meng Jiang grieves at the long wall.
At the foot of the mighty wall, I desperately searched for any sign of my husband's bones, but with no success.
I trusted you.
I did say that I'm sorry. All I want to do is find my husband's bones and give him an honourable burial.
Well, I'm afraid to say, your search will be of no use to you. The body of your husband and many others were buried here a long time ago. I was there when they threw the bodies into the deep pits. One man after the other collapsed and died on the spot. I felt pity for the poor souls. There seemed no end to their suffering. The trees cast off their leaves as the north winds blew. The snowflakes danced to the ground. A lonely goose flew southward. The men who had families, they received warm clothes to wear and food to eat. But those without, they soon died of starvation and disease. Their bodies dumped in the foundations of the long wall until there were white bones littered all over the place, and their souls wept and wailed to all heaven and earth.
Do you remember my husband?
There were so many men, so young, much like your husband. They reminded me of my family back home. My mother, my father, my sister, what could I do?
Go! Just leave me here and let me pray for the soul of my husband.
And so I did. As I left her there, kneeling on the ground, she cried out for her husband.
If there is any justice in this unhappy world, then I pray that the spirits of the unhappy souls entombed in this pavilion bring down this brick wall.
She cried out 3 times.
May they bring down this pavilion.
And the heavens darkened and the earth turned to dust.
May they bring down this brick wall.
And when the labourers on the wall heard her cries, tears ran down their cheeks.
May they bring down this hexagonal pavilion.
And with a thunderous cry, the great wall collapsed, and the hexagonal pavilion came tumbling down. Meng Jiang's cry revealed the bones of all the corpses on the wall. She searched desperately among them for her husband's, but to no avail, until she remembered Silverhair's words to her.
If you do find the remains of your husband's bones, you must use your own blood to identify them. Bite into your finger until it bleeds, and let the blood run onto the bones. If they are not your husband's bones, the blood will drip off. However, the blood from a wife will be absorbed into the bones.
She bit into one of her slender fingers and let the blood drop on bone after bone after bone, until, at last, she came to her husband's bones.
My dear husband, I had hoped from the day that we swore our marriage vows in our father's garden that we would live a life of perfect harmony, be blessed with many children. But a marriage of many years was not meant to be. We were not even to see 1 week together. This place and the people here must have been strange to you. Many the day you must have felt lonely here, each hour longing to return home. But I am a young woman, steadfast in virtue, and all my life I will not seek another to replace you. I vow that in death we will share one grave. Death, unlike life, we will not be separated.
Arrest that woman! Bring her to the Emperor. I am Li Po, a minor official at the Emperor's court. News has reached our Emperor of the deeds of this woman, and I fear he will exact a terrible punishment. He flies into a terrible temper if he does not get his own way at once. We must hurry!
汉穆皇帝提亲 Scene 8 The Emperor's Marriage Proposal.
Divine Emperor, this is the woman, Meng Jiang, who has been arrested for damaging part of your Great Wall. What do you require us to do with her? The Divine Emperor demands to know why you have damaged part of his Great Wall.
I was searching for the bones of my husband, who died while working on the construction of this ridiculous wall.
The Divine Emperor demands to know why you say that his Great Wall is ridiculous.
Let him first tell me what is the purpose of his wall.
You cannot question the Divine Emperor. Only the Divine Emperor is allowed to ask questions.
Can the Divine Emperor not speak for himself?
Such insolence!
Beautiful lady, I have only one question for you. What must I do to claim you as my wife?
Me? Me? As Empress?
People say that my fiancée is a beautiful woman. But you surpass her in every aspect. If you agree to become my wife, I will install you as number 1 in the palace.
Also, he will not have you executed for the crime of cursing your Divine Emperor. Rather, he will grant you a full pardon. What is your response?
As Empress, tell the Emperor this.
I can't say that to the Divine Emperor. You're out of your tiny mind. Divine Emperor, the lady states, if you agree to 3 conditions, she will accept your offer.
3 conditions. 3 conditions. What are these 3 conditions?
The Divine Emperor demands to know the details of these conditions. Firstly, the lady demands a piece of land 3 miles square to serve as a tomb for her husband. The second request, demand, is that you honour the corpse of her dead husband by organising a full state funeral for him. 500 Buddhist monks must perform the sacred rites. Her third demand is that you wear mourning clothes and go to the Great Wall and offer sacrifice for the soul of her husband. Impossible request, my Divine Emperor. If I may be so bold, the situation is ridiculous. Who is this
How dare she come before your divine presence with these absurd demands? Not even your highest minister would expect you to meet all these demands. And who was her husband? A nothing, an idler and shirker probably. She should feel honoured that her family had been given the opportunity to sacrifice their lives for the benefit of the divine emperor. Give me the word divine emperor and I will have this lady.
Enough!
The divine emperor has decreed that all your demands are to be met on pain of death within 3 days. The divine emperor demands to know when the lady Meng Jiang will reach her side of the agreement. The lady says 3 days, divine emperor.
Excellent. She must keep her word.
Scene 9. The death of Meng Jiang.
Where's my bride? It has been 3 days now, and we have fulfilled each request Meng Jiang set. We must go to the palace so we may be married.
We will go seek her, emperor.
Yes. We have provided a piece of land, 3 miles square, to serve as a tomb for her husband. We have had a full state funeral with 500 Buddhist monks performing the sacred rites. I have worn mourning clothes and offered sacrifice in person for the soul of her husband. So where is she? Where is she?
Divine emperor, she is nowhere to be found.
Well, that's impossible. I order you, find her, bring her to me now.
Her rooms are empty.
What do I may say?
I've spoken to them. They say...
孟姜女已经自尽了。
Well, what did they say?
They say the lady Meng Jiang took herself to the top of the mountain sea pass and
Speak now if you hold your life in any value.
I'm afraid to say the word.
Speak! All right, person, sever your pathetic little head from your pathetic little body immediately!
They say the lady Meng Jiang threw herself from the top of the mountain sea pass into the raging, furious torrent below. At first, the water seemed to support her body, but gradually the furious torrent pulled her further and further from the banks until...
Well, my servants, when this was happening, did nobody go to her aid?
There was no time to intervene. The waters carried away before anyone could act.
I am surrounded by fools. You pay a heavy price for your incompetence, do you hear? What is that?
A letter addressed to you, divine emperor.
Give it to me.
I will be honest. I feared for my life that day.
Oh, no!
The emperor's anger boiled over. He stormed through his ostentatious palace, screaming and shouting. Many precious objects were smashed. Like a petulant child, he lashed out at everyone and everything as he careered through the many buildings. By the evening, his fury had abated, thank heaven, and at length he fell asleep in the nursery amongst his old toys and favourite storybooks, like a little boy curled up on the floor. But as he slept, he was visited by the spirit of the Meng Jiang.
Hear now what the spirit of the young girl said to the emperor.
Hear now what our daughter said to the emperor.
You bewildered emperor. You killed my husband, and you foolishly expected to claim me as your bride. I am a young woman, steadfast in virtue, and I vowed that in death, my husband and I would share one grave. In death, unlike life, we will not be separated. The ties that bind this heart of mine to him will never be broken. You are a ruler with no wisdom or compassion.
You are an emperor, in name only. You show no piety, loyalty, or duty. Daily you squander the blood of ordinary people in building this long wall to repel the barbarian armies. You exhaust your people's bodies and waste their riches. I implore you, for the sake of your country, alter your ways before you do more harm to the people of this land. The mirror once broken will never shine again.
Quickly, fetch me paper and pen. I must commit my thoughts to paper. My life this far has been centered around nothing but greed and selfishness. I've drained the life out of my country for my own petty projects. But all that must change. I know what I must do now. Meng Jiang's words have burned into my conscience like deadly acid. You must help me. Quickly, there is no time to delay.
I wonder how long this change of heart will last.
Scene 10. We received the news of our daughter's death. Side by side, we waited to hear news of our daughter. As the days grew and grew,
So did our despair. Our garden, which once our shared joy, fell into ruin.
My name is Meng and this is my wife. We live in the far region near the western border.
sleep now. Mother's here, darling.
Wife, please, you must stop this.
Stop what? Don't speak so loudly, husband. You will wake our daughter up.
Our daughter has gone. She is...
Don't say some silly things, husband. Can you not see your own daughter here in my arms?
I am Chan, and this is my husband.
And we love our little house.
As dearly as our only child.
Our daughter, Meng Jiang.
Who left in the autumn to seek her husband at the Long War.
Never to return to us.
We heard no news from our daughter the day she left, with our treasured servant girl Zhu as her companion.
We should never have let them go.
Eventually, we heard word that our daughter had perished. before she could be reunited with her husband.
We should never let them go!
We knew no detail of our daughter's death, and secretly, this did not worry me, as I could live in hope that one day she would return to us and repair our broken lives. Until this very day, where we were visited by an official of the Emperor's court.
Only a minor official.
I have been dispatched by the Divine Emperor to bring you the news of your daughter, Meng Jiang. The Divine Emperor has instructed me to inform you that sadly your daughter and her husband have died, the details of which are contained in this document, which I have been charged to deliver to you in person. The Divine Emperor has also instructed me to inform you that your daughter behaved in the most decorous manner throughout her short life, and refused to betray her love for her husband. The Divine Emperor bitterly regrets any actions that may have led to the death of your daughter. He also regrets the actions that led to the death of her husband in construction of the Great Wall. In consequence of this, he has committed his life from this day forward to the betterment of his people. All the labourers at the Long Wall have been dismissed and been allowed to return to their homes. The Divine Emperor has set about the most learned writers and poets of his court to set to work immediately to pen an opera entitled Lady at the Long Wall, to celebrate your daughter and her husband's deeds. As a sign of his humble contrition, the Divine Emperor has made available to you the Rose Garden apartments in the Royal Palace as your abode for the perpetuity of the rest of your lives.
You mean to live there? Us?
A beautiful baby girl, small and tender.
That is exactly what the Emperor means. In fact, I have servants with me, ready to move your possessions before nightfall.
You want us to live in the Emperor's palace.
Exactly.
And we're to live there.
In complete luxury and splendour, 10 exquisitely decorated rooms, and a 5-acre garden.
No. You think you can come here with documents and promises of a 5-acre garden and that makes everything all right? Well, it doesn't. All we want is our daughter back. Tell the Emperor that.
But we have to go. Who will look after our garden here if we left?
Oh, don't be silly. The Emperor doesn't care about little things like that.
Who would plant our potatoes in the spring?
And who would ensure that the chickens were fed?
No, you don't understand. Nobody refuses when the Emperor makes a request. Don't you understand?
Then it's not much of a request, then, is it?
No. We will not move to the Emperor's palace. All we want is our daughter back. Nothing can make amends for the loss of our daughter.
I can't go back and tell the Emperor that you refuse his apartment specially created for you in the palace. It will probably mean certain death for me.
We understand your dilemma, sir. Try to look at it from our point of view, if you can. I'm too old to move now. We have lived here for the past 20 years. It may not look like much to you, but it's home to us.
I can't go back and tell the Emperor that you refuse his gift. I can't. I won't.
You're welcome to stay here with us for a while. We had a young man like that turn up unexpectedly before.
You say the Emperor is a changed person. He has renounced his previous behaviour. Throw yourself on his mercy. If he has really changed, he will forgive you.
I'd like to believe that. But tomorrow, I will send the servants with a note to say that I cannot locate your whereabouts. Then I will travel to India to seek my own salvation.
What do you think of this, wife?
A beautiful baby girl.
It's a bottle gourd plant.
There's no room for it.
The gypsy woman said it would bring us good luck.
Hush, hush.
next door neighbour's fence so Mr. and Mrs. Chan can watch it grow as well.
We should never have let them go.
Perhaps one day.
Yes, perhaps one day.
In each and every age, joy and sorrow are mingled.
快乐时心存善良，悲伤也鼓足勇气。
Remain pious in joy and be ready for sorrow with courage.